Hi, my name is Damian LaCroix. I'm Superintendent of Schools for the Howard-Suamico School District. We are producing these videos for staff and for students and for families as they prepare to come back to a very different school year in 2020-2021. Obviously a lot of change all about us, and it's really important for us to communicate well so that our students and our families and our staff know that we've got a good plan in place to support them through the learning and the teaching experience. Today I'm joined with my old friend, Mike Frieder. Mike is the principal at Bayport High School. He's done a great job and has really been involved throughout the course of the summer working with a team, task force, including teachers, teacher leaders here at Bayport to come up with a plan that we think really is uniquely different and is going to best meet the needs of our students in a really challenging and uniquely different environment. And so Mike, thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Can you walk us through the plan? I think you and your team have come up with a really unique approach. We learned a lot from last March, April, and May, good and bad, and we applied those lessons to our planning process, and we've arrived at this plan. And so help our viewers understand kind of the basics of the plan and what's important for them to know.
Sure. When we listened to our students last year, when we decided to go home in March and not come back, one of the issues was having 6 or 7 online courses was real difficult. And so as part of our plan coming up this year, we've taken the semester of 18 weeks and divided it into 6 3-week sections, which means that for the most part, students will have half their classes in the first 3 weeks, then the second half of their classes in the next 3 weeks, and then rotate that through the semester. And so what we've done is developed a block schedule during the day, so extending those learning periods. Obviously, safety is really important to us, and so having less traffic time to be in hallways and things like that was a consideration. And so in that first block, kids will have math and social studies along with some of their electives, and we've determined which electives will be in what block. In the second block, they will have language arts and science, and then some other electives. And so we split the electives up, and so kids will never have all 7 classes or 6 classes at the same time. In those alternate blocks for kids, let's say, who struggle, so let's just use math as an example. So you take the first 3 weeks of algebra, and we're demanding a lot of work from you during that time. We're trying to get 6 weeks of content into that 3-week period. And so if the student is struggling after that first 3 weeks, we're not going to say to them, listen, you're not going to have math for the next 3 weeks. We're going to say, we're going to help you with your math. Unlike last year when if you started struggling, you just kind of kept struggling, we will have math teachers to intervene there and help kids who are struggling, whether that's in math or social studies or science or language arts, those major 4 content areas. And so that'll be what a student schedule kind of looks like for freshmen and sophomores. And so we have blocks, which I would call independent learning time for kids to be with teachers, working online on the material that they're being covered in their classroom maybe earlier that day. And in regards to kids coming to school, they'll be coming twice a week. And so it's a different type of schedule. I've talked to a lot of kids about it now that we've put some more information out. I think they understand it. I think they get it. So we're looking forward to the challenge.
Talk a little bit more about block. I mean, that's a familiar term to us, probably not familiar to our parents. I think our staff probably understands that, but for a parent watching this, what does block actually mean?
So instead of 8 45-minute classes, now we're at 4 just over 90-minute classes because we take away that transition time. We're also able to see kids for longer periods of time, so we can not only talk to them about content, but just how you doing and how are things going for you. I think the social emotional part is really important for our kids and to make connections. And so instead of having 8 periods in a day, a student would just have 4 periods in their day. Some of those would be specific content areas, and other times just to do their independent learning. So when a student arrives in a face-to-face class, their information will be there in Schoology. Teachers will assist them in answering questions, small group lessons for kids who might be struggling in something. If you're virtual on that day, one of the things we heard loud and clear was you got to get my son or daughter out of bed.
Right.
And so if you're virtual and we start at 7:30, you're going to get out of bed.
We expect you to be
there. You're going to log in remotely,
and
you'll log in. Your teacher will welcome you in the morning, take your attendance, so remote attendance and physical attendance. They'll go through with you the same questions. Hey, what questions do you have about the lessons for today? They're all in Schoology. I'm here to help you in any way. And probably even say to those kids, we're going to check back in an hour. And so I expect you to get this amount of work done. I'll see you face to face the next day. But I expect you to get this amount of work done. Let's log in an hour, see how you're doing. Check in before our 97 minutes is up to make sure you have any questions. You'll be able to work on that later in the day. And that'll just flip-flop the next day. And so on that Monday, those kids who showed up on Monday will tune in remotely.
That's a big change from the experience in spring, right? That was one of our learnings from the spring. You know, parents and students said we need interaction with our teacher, we need interaction with our classmates.
Yeah, that's where that really came out of, this idea that they need to be held a little bit more accountable. And they're not even arguing that. Not that they like it necessarily, but they understand that to be successful, that model's probably going to work better for them.
So one of the unique facets of this schedule is Fridays. So elaborate on Friday. How is Friday going to look? Like if I'm in Group A, right? I'm here Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, and Thursday. I can learn remotely. And then what's Friday all about?
Yeah. Well, one of the things we heard from our kids at the end of last year was a lot of things that we took away from are the things that they're really passionate about. And so their times to be in clubs, to be in organizations, to their band and choir and orchestra to get together, to work out in our weight room, to really have some choice. We really took those things away from them, and those are some of the things that they're passionate about. Being a member of a club or an organization or FFA, or those are their passion areas, and so we want to find a way in our schedule to still do that. So on Fridays, we've developed a schedule where kids will be able to go on and register and say they want to be in their woods lab longer, or they want to be in a metals lab, or they want to be in a culinary lab, or an orchestra room, or a band room, or a choir room, or a fitness facility, or they want to have a club or organization meeting like YSL. And so it's our way to build into the schedule things that kids really like. And so we hope that kids will take advantage of that. That's still a learning day for us. So if you're not going to come on that day, you'll still be expected to do the classes that are assigned to you during that 3 weeks. But in talking to kids, they're really excited about Friday.
Now you've played an important role in helping facilitate some focus groups, right? One including students and another one including parents. So can you share, just from your standpoint, Mike, what has been the feedback that you've received from students and parents, and how have you been able to benefit from that feedback in your leadership role through this planning process?
Yeah, I think we hear pretty loud and clear, in the perfect world, we'd all come back. Right. And it's just not that way right now. And that would be our A model. And then our B model is this blended model, which we're going to attempt to do at the beginning of September. And the C model is everybody's home. And from a student perspective, it was pretty loud and clear, never get to C.
If we can help it.
If we can help it.
Yeah.
Let's try not to get to C. We want to come back. We want to be part of all the things that high school has, not only academics, but hopefully musicals and plays and athletics and all those other important things too. So from the student perspective, it was, we'll do everything that you want me to do, Mr. Frieder, in order for us to come back. And so we had some great discussions around, even before the mask thing was more of a mandated thing. Would you wear a mask? Yeah, no problem. If that's what it means to come back and to be safe and to stay open in a blended model, we'll do it. You're going to wash your hands when you come in and leave every room. Is that okay? Yep, no problem. We'll do whatever it takes for us to stay open and remain open, because that's how important it is for them. And I think parents the same way. They want their kids back in school. That comes across pretty loud and clear. But they also want options. So there are some parents who will probably decide that their kids will stay home. Flexibility is, I think, real important in this plan. And so as parents have questions, they just need to email me so I can get back to them. And like we always have been, we'll be as flexible as possible in trying to meet the needs of their kids.